Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Today, Blizzard revealed 2 new cards from the upcoming Rastakhan's Rumble expansion to Hearthstone, so let's go take a look at them immediately and see what they're like. The first revealed card is Scalper, a 4-mana 5/3 pirate with an overkill effect to draw 2 cards. This is the first overkill minion that has been revealed, so it's important to realize what overkill really means on a minion. And luckily, these questions have already been asked over Reddit and we have answers from the Hearthstone developers. So, minions with overkill will only trigger if it is your turn. So you play Scalper on the board, if your opponent trades into it or kills it otherwise, it just dies, you don't get the overkill effect. Another thing that might be important is, can an overkill minion trigger even if it's dying following the attack? And yes, even if Scalper dies when it attacks into a minion, if it takes that other minion with it with excess damage, it will still overkill and draw you 2 cards. So now that we understand what overkill does on a minion, we can properly evaluate whether Scalper is a good card. Pirates as a tribe is generally a pretty aggressive, synergistic tribe, traditionally with weapons. So if we compare the 4-mana slot to a 4-mana slot pirate that actually saw play back when it was in standard format, that would be the Naga Corsair. And we can quite immediately see that the Naga Corsair is much stronger card than the Scalper for an aggressive deck. Naga Corsair has 1 more health, and it has a battle cry that synergizes with weapons that you are very likely to have, whereas Scalper only 3 health, and the effect also requires you to trade with that instead of going face with it. While this can be useful in getting rid of taunts, you can sacrifice Scalper to kill a taunt, and if you manage to overkill that taunt, then you get to draw more resources. So I can totally see this seeing play like against some 3/6 taunts that Druid can put in front of you. You can use your weapon, you can use Scalper, you get 2 new cards, so it doesn't really matter that you lost a minion. It is still much weaker card than Naga Corsair is, and especially this 3 health right here is currently hurting it a lot. Because 3 health means that even 2 drops can trade into it. So it is a mediocre tool for a pirate synergy deck, but mediocre tools typically in constructed are too weak to get to see play. The second revealed card is a warrior class card, Heavy Metal. 6-mana spell, summon a random minion with cost equal to your armor, up to 10. Well, looking at this card, we obviously can compare it to Geosculptor Yip, the classic armor warrior style card. 8-mana 4/8 minion that summons random minions with cost equal to your armor at the end of your turn. So Geosculptor Yip obviously costs 2 more mana, but it's also a big beefy body and it summons those until it's removed. It's an infinitely better card than Heavy Metal is. But how good is Heavy Metal? Some people have already been talking about Recruit Warrior. Recruit Warrior is currently running the 6-mana spell, Gather Your Party, Recruit a Minion. And the first thing that I have to say is that Heavy Metal is never going to see any play in Recruit Warrior. That's like a completely different archetype. And Gather Your Party is also way better card than Heavy Metal. Because with Gather Your Party, you can ensure that all of your deck is going to consist of minions that you really want to recruit, and you will get them out of there. You have much more control on what they are, and you do not have the armor requirement. So another card that is better than Heavy Metal. However, if there is something that gives hope for Heavy Metal, it's what happened to Spiteful Summoner in the last standard rotation. Because Spiteful Summoner was actually improved quite a bit in the last standard rotation. It might not be seeing a ton of play right now, even though those Spiteful Druids and Spiteful Priests are bubbling right under. But right now, in standard format, all the 10 drops from Spiteful Summoner are really good. In fact, the weakest of them are 8/8s, so that's always a solid card available from Spiteful Summoner, despite the random effect. There are nowadays pretty bad cards in every other mana slot, so even 8 and 9 mana are not quite as safe as they used to be, but that 10 is still a safe spot. And as it happens, Heavy Metal summons a minion with mana cost up to 10, which might be of minor importance because the 11 and 12 mana cards are all 8/8, so this gives you a chance to get something even better than that. So what it really means for this card is that There is a chance that it could be used in a new warrior archetype, if it's possible to really build an armor warrior. Maybe even an even warrior instead of an odd warrior. This costs 6, Hip costs 8. There are some opportunities here, and heavy metal would go in a same deck with Yip, but it would never go in a deck that is based on the recruit synergy. Simply because a recruit synergy deck already runs a bunch of big beefy minions, and you will never be able to get this down effectively on turn 6 anyway. You're not going to be able to have a ton of armor on turn 6 so that you would get a useful minion from this. So it has nothing it could give to a recruit warrior, but it could give some late game to an armor based warrior. Especially if you can hit that 10 armor and above. So heavy metal is not an archetype defining card, but it is a card that just might be able to push a specific archetype of warrior into viability. Those were all the new cards that were revealed today. We'll hold on tight for new reveals and come check out my reviews of those on this channel when they come out. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.